The Iranian regime in Tehran is facing a major crisis, but not from Israeli and American warplanes, but internally. Iranian American journalist Karmel Melamed joins us right now. So, Karmel, what is going on in Iran?
Great being with you, Raj. There's been many defections from the Iranian military's officers, various police. They've come out publicly in the underground metro, and they've unveiled Iran's traditional lion and sun flag, proclaiming their allegiance to the people, defecting essentially from the regime. And those two officials have been arrested by the regime. But subsequent to that, we're seeing a number of military and police officials that are posting defection notices on social media, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Telegram. They've come out, denounced the regime. Many have sworn allegiance to the people, claiming that the regime has done wrong by the people. Many are voicing support for the Crown Prince, Reza Pahlavi. So it's an interesting development as the country continues to deteriorate in the current situation.
Well, it's not just that. Obviously, there's this massive water catastrophe happening in Iran. Tell us about that.
Well, after 46 years of neglect and just incompetence, the regime has left the majority of the country, especially the capital of Tehran, without water. The aquifers are basically empty. They haven't invested in any of the water infrastructure. There's been no effort to recycle, reclaim any kind of water. Just they've let the whole system deteriorate for the last 26 years. And the population in Iran nearly 50 years ago was 30 million. Today it's 90 million. And not a penny has been invested in water and water infrastructure. And there have been many, many years of drought. And now it's gotten to the point where people don't have water. And the regime's president came out recently and said, well, if this continues, we're going to have to evacuate the capital city of Tehran. Well, what kind of government says that? It is truly a humanitarian disaster.
Well, Karmel, you obviously are Iranian. You were born in Iran. This is a very deeply personal story to you. We've done stories in the past about, the things happening under the surface. Is this just another one of those, like there's defections, there's these crises, there's a lot of obviously not great things happening on the ground, but it's just another chapter? Or could this potentially start the collapse of the Iranian regime in Tehran?
I'd like to use the analogy of the dam that has cracked. And each one of these events or incidences that are unfolding in Iran, the water shortage, the lack of electricity, high inflation, high unemployment, high cost of food, and now the defections are really widening that crack in the regime's dam. And eventually something's got to give, Raj. It's not going to be able to sustain itself. And at the same time, we're seeing the regime defiantly sending the country's wealth, millions and billions of dollars, to Hezbollah recently. Well, that infuriates the people of Iran. And it's gotten to the point now where the military and even the police, the security apparatus they're shaking their heads and they're saying, we've had enough of this. This is our country, and it's basically being flushed down the toilet by a group of ayatollahs and religious fanatics that don't care about the people. I think, personally, something's got to give, and this is yet another crack in that dam. Eventually, something serious may unfold, and we may see the collapse of the regime. But it's going to happen eventually.
How severely wounded was the regime in this last skirmish with Israel, and also obviously the United States got involved? Was that a huge blow, or was that just par? How much was the regime actually hurt in this round of fighting?
Well, their military infrastructure was definitely attacked. Their nuclear facilities were devastated and decimated, according to the president and U.S. military. I think what was really interesting was their image. Their image was devastated amongst the people of Iran. Their image was devastated in the Middle East. They are no longer seen as this omnipotent great power. And as you know, Raj, everything in the Middle East is image. If you project strength, then you'll stay in power. If you project weakness, or if weakness is shown of you, your power is going to dissipate real quickly. So this regime suffered tremendously, militarily and psychologically. Let's not forget that Israel took out a lot of the major military minds and the military leaders in that 12-day war during the summer. So that's also been very devastating for the regime. They don't have the brains, the military brains or the structural brains, so to say, to continue their war of aggression against Israel, or even the oppression of the people of Iran. Those folks are no longer there. So it was definitely devastating to them on a military, stance, but it was also devastating to them psychologically.
Karmel Melamed, invaluable insight. Thanks as always, my friend, and God bless.